Welcome, those of you who are joining. We're just going to give it just a minute here to make sure we go live in the Facebook channels. If you're joining us from YouTube, just give us a few seconds here for everything to go forward. Make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, looking good. So welcome. Feel free at any point to put any questions that you have in the chat. More than happy to answer any questions that you have. Welcome to my new office. We are finally in our new warehouse, so we're still kind of getting things together, but we have at least a desk and a computer up, so that's good. We are going to look at Aniseller for a little bit today, and then I'm going to also flip over and look at Histomart and do a little bit of just kind of like detail around Histomart and how to use that. So Aniseller, let me share my screen. Okay, we should be good there. Aniseller is the wholesale tool for both Amazon and Walmart sellers. So it has the capability to view profitability of items using a spreadsheet, basically an Excel spreadsheet, comma separated value. So I thought what I would do first is take you through the process of how to like prepare your sheet, because it does have to be in a specific format, and not everything that you're going to get is going to be in that format. So let me very quickly here open up a spreadsheet that I have in my email. And I'll pull that over so you guys can see. Let me make it bigger, a little bit bigger, just so you guys can kind of see. So this is from Entertainment Earth. They send out sales sheets quite often if you have an account with them. And if you're a Walmart seller, and you want to sell toys, this is a great place to start with, because first of all, you can get wholesale. Pricing's not super fantastic. That's not the point. It's more about quantity. But also they can provide you those CPC and testing documents that you need once Walmart enacts their CPC requirements. So that's, just all good stuff. But in terms of getting the spreadsheet for Aniseller, we have to have two elements. We have to have the UPC, and we have to have a price so that it can compare those things. So I will take a sheet that's given to me like this, and I'll scroll over, and here we have the UPC, and I will highlight that column, and I can right click and copy it, and then I open up a new sheet. So here's my new sheet, and I just click right here in this first box, and you can right click and hit paste, or you can hit Control V and paste. And so that's your UPC column. And you'll notice that some are missing. I really don't worry about those, because Aniseller will just skip over it. And we want to make sure that this is titled barcode, because that's the title that we're looking for in Aniseller. And then the next thing I need to know is price. So here we have the suggested retail price. Here's the discount. Here's the discounted dollar amount. So we're going to highlight this column and copy it, and then go to our new sheet, paste it, and I'm going to type price here. And then the other two fields that it uses are like a description and an image. So if I come here to the scan on Aniseller, and let's say we're going to scan it for just Walmart. We're going to use the UPC, and you can click and download the template, and the template will show you what those field names need to be. So let me open the template up. Okay, so we have barcode, cost. See, I named it price, name and image. So let me go back to this. So we want barcode. Hang on, let me minimize that one. And then we want this one to be cost, name, and image. And those two fields I do not have to fill out if I don't want to. And then we're going to save this as a CSV file. So I'm just going to call this like EE sale. I think this was July sale. And then down here, I'm going to choose CSV. So I'm going to save that. So now my file is formatted correctly. And now when I come here to choose the file, there's my EE sale July CSV. I'm just going to click that to open it, and it's going to start running. And so it's running a scan against those UPCs. It's looking for a UPC match on Walmart, and then it's going to start bringing in any of those that match and show me what the price kind of comparison is. If I buy it on Entertainment Earth, how much can I sell it for on Walmart? Minus all the fees, is it going to be profitable or not? So here we have some items that are starting to pop in. We can see here under the price column what the unit price is for this sale. We can see a description of the item and the UPC. If we want to go out and look at that item on Walmart, we can just click on this and it will take us out to Walmart and show us this. This is actually a pretty poor listing because we really don't know what this is. The description of this is terrible. So probably it wouldn't be something I'd want to buy. But what I want to pay attention to is out here is the profit and the ROI. So we can see like this one's not really that profitable. This one looks like price is $17.99. Yeah, that's not showing anything. I'd have to look into that one. But we're looking for ones that are, again, kind of meet my price criteria. And we can do that. We can filter and say, like, I only want to see stuff that's $4 minimum profit. And automatically it filters my list. So now we see there's 4 items so far. It's still scanning. And then my ROI percent. So maybe I want to look at these items and take a little bit harder look at them to see, like, how fast are they moving? You know, these don't have any review count, but this one does. So maybe we go out and we look at that one next. So we have Beetlejuice on a tombstone. We're coming into spooky season, guys. So like this kind of product is going to move a little bit faster. We can see it sells on Amazon, 200 units a month. So we have offer count kind of has gone up, but it also has gone back down. So things probably are moving. This is not showing. This is not showing sellers. I don't know if I refresh it, if that'll do it or not. But over here we have, if we want to look at the sellers, $15.99 free shipping, $14.95. Let me click out of Martyr and then click it back on and see if it'll pull in the seller table for us. There we go. So we can look at stock, and in terms of stock count, like 328 going into like a seasonal type product, that doesn't really scare me. The fact that it's selling on Amazon, 200 a month. Again, I can get the documentation I need for Walmart. Maybe I buy it and I sell it on both platforms because at that price, which was $5.66, like that's a pretty amazing ROI for this particular product. You can see we've had something else pop in while we were looking at that. This is like a Masters of the Universe thing, but it also says not mint, so I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. We can go to the next page and see if anything else pops in. But that really is what Aniseller is. It's just using those scan sheets. If I wanted to go back and scan the same sheet for Amazon, I could do that. You can also scan it for both. I don't personally like doing that, as often as just kind of separating it because I kind of want to be focused and like look at it from the perspective of that particular platform, because the platforms are a little different. But if we choose this same file and we'll start scanning it for Amazon, just so you can see, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in my $4 minimum profit. And we're gonna find that this might have a few more good buys than the other does. I don't know if it took that. This one should not be showing up here. Nope. Let me, it's because I put it in the wrong spot. I put it in ROI, 30% ROI. Okay, so yeah, so we have the She-Hulk figure. You can see estimated sales for Amazon, which I really like that. I mean, hopefully we'll eventually get that for the Walmart side of things. It's in the top 1%. So, you know, it's moving, not moving as fast as some other things, but it is moving. But it's going to continue to scan this sheet and try to get us to those ROI thresholds that we're looking for. So pretty simple product actually, but pretty powerful, because when you have a lot of data for potential purchases, whether that be a sales sheet or a catalog from a supplier, running it through this just to kind of like clear out the clutter so you can really focus in on what might be profitable and analyze those, it literally is going to save you hours of time. So it's a tool that initially I didn't think I would use much, and I end up using it definitely every week, sometimes daily, just kind of depends. I mean, right here, look at this one. This is a $19 profit, and it sells 50 plus a month. So let's take a look at what I don't even know what that is. McFarlane Toys Bleach. So like, I don't know what that is. It's some kind of anime. Not in my wheelhouse. Nothing I would like look for, because I'm not aware of this like series or whatever it is. But Aniseller showing me like, hey, it's profitable and it sells well, to me is it's just a great thing. Here's another one. It's like a black light Joker figure. So yeah, so it would just, and it's going to continue to scan that entire sheet as long as I want to. All right, give me just a second. Let me see if there's any comments out on Facebook, because those don't come across. What was the deal with items not showing up when creating a plan? I'm still having issues with that. Oh, okay. So you're asking, okay, this is an inventory Falcon question. So Walmart, about 6 days ago, I talked with Ito, yesterday, might have been the day before, can't remember. We actually spent an hour on the phone, like doing some testing within my own Walmart account. For some reason, it's showing items listed. They're listed as WFS eligible, but not being able to be added to a shipping plan. So Walmart did some changes behind the scenes to their code about 6 days ago that broke some things. We think we have identified what the issue is. He and I talked, well, I sent him a message late last night. He answered about 3 a.m. our local time. So I know they're working on it. So that issue should be fixed relatively soon. So just unfortunately, when Walmart makes changes behind the scenes, it impacts, you know, every piece of software out there, and Martyr being the one that like touches more parts of Walmart than any other tools on the market, they get hit a little harder. So they have to, you know, stop everything and go fix those things. So, but we did put a announcement on the shipment page to just let you guys know, like, hey, there might be some issues. It seems like it works sometimes and doesn't work others. So just kind of have some patience, and that should be fixed hopefully relatively soon. But appreciate that question. Okay, so that's Aniseller. So now let's flip over and let's look at Histomart. just because I get a lot of questions on Histomart and how to use Histomart and analyze products. So we're going to look at it within the Chrome extension, and then we'll also go out and look at it just in the tool itself. So I want to make sure that I find products that are moving relatively quickly. So I like to go into toys. I do like Barbies because they do move well. So let's see if we can find a Barbie that we can analyze. We did this one on Tuesday's call. So let's see what else we can find. I've done this one before. This one might actually be an interesting one to look at again. Verify, verify. Okay, we'll get it to come up here. This item went on clearance. I did it on a live once, and the price it's been kind of fun to watch the rise and fall of this. Let me refresh the page here now that I've logged in and get it to come back up for us. Okay, so I'm going to close out Martyr on the left right now, just so we can focus on Histomart. So the first graph that you see is basically price history. So some things that I look at when I'm looking to sell an item is, does it have price stability? Meaning, do I think that that price is going to stay at that same price long enough for me to sell through my stock? But also, it's good to look at to see items that maybe have dips for good purchasing opportunities. And this happens to be one of those products that that experienced that. So back here, it was selling at $9, and it went up to $11, and then it dipped down to $7, and then it dipped down to a little bit lower sevens. And then ultimately down here, it dipped to $6.59. So Walmart was basically trying to sell through this. It looks like they've come back in stock, and they have it now at like a $10 price point. So unfortunately, like, Walmart keeps stocking this. I thought at the $6.59 that they probably were going to sell through this and be done with it at that low of a clearance price. I still think it's a good item. I think in Q4 the price will rise, but because it has kind of this up and down movement on price, it is a little bit more, I would say, unstable of an item. And we'll look at something as a comparison that maybe is a little more stable. So I use this price graph to basically say, like, what's worst case scenario if I buy this item to sell, and best case scenario. So, like, what's the least it sold for? What's the most it sold for? Am I comfortable if it dips down into that lower price point or not? And some things I am and some things I'm not. So, there it is. This graph is the stock level graph. So this shows you Walmart's stock, kind of rising and falling up here. When it got down to this point, I thought they're done. Like, they've been going down for a month, so they're done. And then surprise, surprise, they come back in with a restock. And now they're kind of back on the downswing again. So they could have found some additional stock. That does happen. Things get misplaced or things get miscatalogued, and then, like, they come across it, and then all of a sudden they'll just, like, add stock and you weren't expecting it. So maybe they're on the end of it now. It's hard to tell because they've kind of had this up and down motion for quite some time. This graph, this basically is showing you the ratings and the offer count. So offer count went down. When the price went down, the offer count obviously went up because more people bought it. The offer count's kind of done a little bit of up and down here. It is a good sign because when offer count goes down, that means people are selling out of their stock. So even though Walmart has it in stock, other people are selling through their stock. So that means, as I've always talked about with Walmart, is you could compete against Walmart having the buy box because it doesn't mean that it's available to everyone in the US. So, like, you may be the offer shown to somebody in Montana who maybe their Walmarts don't have this because Walmart ships from their locations more than they do from a central facility like Amazon does. So you get to see the offer kind of movement. What we don't want to see is offer count just continuously going up and not falling back down. That would mean that this product is not selling through. That means people are holding on to stock and not selling. So that's not a good sign. So as long as we've got some like rise and fall in the seller counts, then you feel a little more confident that people are selling through. You also want to see that the rating and reviews here, that the review count is going up. So it is consistently going up. That means people are buying it. They're doing reviews on it. So that's a good thing. I don't worry too much about the rating unless it's like a 1. Like, unless everybody is trashing the product. Some people are going to like things, some people aren't. As long as it's in that 3 to 5 range on Walmart, then I'm good with it. Another thing we like to see are badges. Badges are an indicator that something is moving very well on the platform. So you have the amount sold badges, you have the amount in cart badges, you have bestseller badges, you have popular pick badges. So those things kind of can come and go depending on stock. But as long as you kind of see them across time, then it's probably a good indicator that this is a solid product that is selling well on the platform. Another indicator of the product selling is the stock drop. So this is not like stock going up. This is like the amount of sold. So like on this day, the stock count dropped by 179, meaning basically 179 units were sold. On this day, 98 units, and so forth. So as long as you exceed bars on this graph, then you could feel pretty confident that, again, it is selling. So those are all kind of like the leading indicators when I look at Histomart to make some decisions about, do I think I want to buy this item or not? I can then dive a little bit deeper on this data tab. The data tab basically just has all of the numbers associated with what you're seeing on those graphs out front. But I go to this offer tab here, and I want to look at who currently has offers. So right now it looks like Walmart is the one that has the offer. They've sold 1,173 of these in the last period of time, 152 in the last 30 days. So here's their stock history, up and down, up and down, up and down, slowly going down. Will it stay there? Something to watch. And then you can also look at buy box statistics. Looks like Walmart has held the buy box 100% of the time for the last 30 days. So again, that %1, that it doesn't mean that other people weren't winning the buy box, because obviously we had seller count going down. But it just, for whatever the reason on Histomart, like Walmart could be winning the buy box, like I said, near me, but somebody else is winning it, and maybe the computer only picks up the Walmart one. All right, so let's look at a different item. Let's look at some Lego. It'd be really great maybe if I found, well, that's interesting, bulk Lego. Wanted to see if I could find maybe something that has gone up in price. So I'm looking for like a little bit older Lego set possibly. So just give me a moment to scroll through some of these. Like all these look like the more current sets. I'll find one in a minute. I'm not sure about this one, but I'm going to click on it. We're going to find out together. And again, I'll just close out Martyr. Okay, I like this. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about, so we saw that other price graph that was kind of like up and down and up and down and up and down, and look at how steady this particular item has been. So WFS pricing has been like $50 to like, yeah, right here it's 48. Seller fulfilled pricing at 55. So the buy box winner is changing. You can see how it's changing. If you look at that bottom in the pink where it says buy box winner, as I move across here, I can see who's winning the buy box. So the buy box is rotating or changing based on who's stocking it. So those are good indicators. I don't know what the purchase price point of this is, so I don't know if it's a profitable item, but in terms of looking at the data here, like I like the fact that this pricing is very, very stable. That's within the last month. Let's go all the way out. Oh, this is beautiful. All right, so Walmart was selling this for 50. Okay. Looks like they had a couple of little short restocks here at $40. So that might have been their, let's see, that was in late March. So that wasn't their summer deals. And so people were picking this up for 40, and now up here the price went all the way up to like 67, and it looks like the price has kind of come back down now and stabilized. Probably this is at its end of life for Lego. It's probably getting ready to retire, or it has retired, and we'll probably see the price kind of pop back up as we get into Q4. But love that. So you can see where Walmart had it in stock by these kind of beige bars. So that's interesting as well. All right, then our stock levels. So total stock is the pink number. So we've got, looks like total stock is falling. So that's a good indicator. I can click and hold and like highlight that here. And it should zoom in, and it's not. Let's do it up here, maybe it will. Okay, it's just being cranky. I'll go to the last one. All right, so we can see here that the total stock is falling, the WFS stock is falling, the seller fulfilled stock is falling. So people are selling through this product. So if you found it at a price point where it was profitable, it probably would be a good pickup because it's obviously moving. The ratings and offer count, we got offer count continuously going down. That's an excellent sign, because as supply decreases and if demand stays the same, then you're going to see an elevation in the price as fewer and fewer people have this in stock. Our review count seems pretty stable. It's gone up just a little bit. Not all products get reviews, that's okay. It doesn't look like we've had any badges over here, but we do know product is moving because these offer counts are going down. We also know product is moving because we have stock drops happening. So this is probably when, I wonder if Walmart came in stock right there for a little bit. But yeah, definitely have product that has been moving pretty consistently day to day. So feel good about that. So then I'm going to go up to the data tab. And again, like if you're a numbers person, this is a great tab. I like visuals and graphs and those kind of things. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to see Walmart. Their average price was $49.99, but nothing sold in the last 30 days. There's multiple pages here, so you might have to scroll. So like this person sold 5 at an average price of $50. But also looks like they did sell some for like $72 back here and dropped their price. So they sold 5. So it's not going to, like, 19 in 30 days isn't a lot. But if you found this on a clearance, it'd be a nice little pickup. We go to buy box statistics. We can see Walmart held the buy box the majority of the time, but the buy box has been very much shared amongst other sellers. Is this chart from a Chrome extension? Yes. It is the Histomart Chrome extension. So if you have the Pioneer bundle, you would have Histomart. If you don't have Histomart, it's $18 a month or $180 a year. And so this just pops in on all the Walmart product pages. And then you can also go just to histomart.com and you can search for an item out here. So I'm going to search for a food item, Starbucks pumpkin. Let's just see what comes up when I search that. I try to search by item ID in UPC just to be more specific, but here we go. Okay, we'll click on this one, and it's going to be the exact same graphics that we saw before. They're just a little more real estate available on this page, whereas they are kind of shrunk down when you're on the Chrome extension on Walmart page. This doesn't surprise me here. Let's see, here's pumpkin spice coffee. You want to see historically how it sold, you know, coming out like January, price went up as supply decreased, the price went way up, starting to stabilize because Walmart came back in stock. Here's stock. You can see how the stock dropped. It's a seasonal product. That doesn't surprise me. We've got some bestseller rankings here. Here's our stock drop tracker. And then we can go to data and look at the offers. And look at this, like Walmart, since they've been tracking this, has sold over 14,000 units of pumpkin spice coffee. That's just crazy. But this seller has sold 710, which is just as crazy. Like that's a lot of units to move. So definitely a popular product if you get it for the right price point. If you wait for the stores to sell out, this could actually be a really good buy and hold and sell at the end of the season when they no longer make it. All right, let me check the other channels real quick for any other questions. If you have any questions over anything about selling on Walmart, I'm happy to answer those as well. We're going to be back next week. I'm actually out. I'm attending a trade show to look into more wholesale accounts. I might post some recordings though for next week since I won't be able to do a live. But then I'll be back the week after that. So unless I could crank a live out on Monday. We might do one on Monday and maybe do just do Martyr on Monday. Okay. Any other questions? As always, you can always post on the video after it's done. I'll come back in and try to address any questions that I see. Tag me if you want to make sure I see it. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate likes and subscribes. That helps me, helps the algorithm. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you get notified when I go live. I probably will go live from the trade show next week at least once. So if you've never been to like a trade show, it's basically a conference. Usually this one is a pet conference, so it's all pet products. I'll try to stream live from it at least once next week while I'm there. But yeah, always, in the YouTube, in the Facebook channels, tag me with questions, message me on Facebook. Happy to help anybody out. I know that things have been a little rough on Walmart lately. They're messing a lot of things up. Hopefully we'll get it right. If you're going to be at the Walmart Sellers Conference at the end of the month, I will be there. Come find me. I'm pretty easy to find. Usually white hair and a ponytail. I'll have my WOW t-shirts on probably every day so people can find me. But I appreciate you guys joining, and just let me